the small town of Plainfield, Wisconsin, where autumn leaves crunch underfoot and a cold wind carries whispers of forgotten souls, there lived a man whose name became synonymous with horror. Ed Gein. Not just a killer, but a weaver of nightmares whose deeds inspired Hollywood's darkest tales and forever changed how we see the shadows in the human soul. Picture this: a quiet farmer, solitary and unassuming, yet behind the locked doors of his crumbling farmhouse lay a hell crafted from skin and bone. This is the story of Ed Gein, the Butcher of Plainfield, a man who turned death into a grotesque art.
Are you ready to step into the abyss?
Let's begin at the beginning. Edward Theodore Gein was born on August 27, 1906, in La Crosse, Wisconsin. His family was a cauldron of dysfunction. His father, George Gein, was an alcoholic, a weak man who stumbled through life, barely able to feed his family. His mother, Augusta, was the opposite, a towering figure of control. Deeply religious, she wielded the Bible like a weapon, but her faith was twisted by hatred. To Augusta, men were vessels of sin, and the world beyond her home was a den of depravity. She read to her sons, Ed and his older brother Henry, passages from the Old Testament, tales of divine wrath and fallen women.
All women are whores except me,
she'd hiss. For young Ed, his mother was a deity, both worshipped and feared. His love for her was a knot of devotion, terror, and buried rage. In 1915, when Ed was 9, the family moved to a remote farm in Plainfield. Augusta chose it deliberately to shield her boys from the sinful world. Friends were forbidden. The farm was their prison. School was Ed's only glimpse of others, but he was an outcast there too. A drooping eyelid, mocked as a lazy eye, made him a target for bullies. Quiet and awkward, Ed had a strange habit of laughing to himself, as if sharing a secret with unseen ghosts. Teachers noticed, but no one saw the pain beneath. Augusta's punishments were brutal: beatings for minor infractions, sermons about the world's evil. Henry sometimes protected Ed, but he too buckled under their mother's iron rule. The years deepened the family's poison. In 1940, George died of a heart attack, his body broken by drink. Augusta saw it as God's justice. Now, her sons were hers alone. Henry began to push back, calling their mother mad, even dreaming of escape. But on May 16, 1944, tragedy struck. While fighting a brush fire on the farm, Henry disappeared. His body was found later, no burns, just bruises on his head. The coroner ruled it smoke inhalation, but whispers grew. Ed killed his brother, jealous of their mother's divided affection. Henry had been the only one who could challenge Ed's bond with Augusta. Now, Ed was alone with her, their connection a suffocating obsession. He slept in her room, tended to her like a child. Then came the blow that shattered him. In December 1945, Augusta suffered a stroke and died. For Ed, it was as if the sun had gone out. His goddess, his tormentor, was gone. He sealed her rooms, turning them into a shrine. Her belongings gathered dust, untouched, sacred. To the outside world, Ed seemed ordinary. He took odd jobs in Plainfield, fixing fences, babysitting, always polite. Kids called him Uncle Eddie. He'd give them rides on his tractor, tell quirky stories. But inside, a void was growing. To fill it, Ed turned to death. It began with the obituaries. Ed pored over them, fixating on women who resembled his mother, middle-aged, sturdy, maternal. At night, he'd creep to Plainfield's small, unguarded cemetery, shovel in hand. He dug up fresh graves, not for the whole body, but for parts: skin, heads, organs. Back at the farm, under the flicker of a kerosene lamp, he worked, He tanned human skin, stitched it into masks, sewed costumes. Imagine him in his dark kitchen, slipping on a mask of human flesh, staring into a cracked mirror. Did he see his mother? He crafted bowls from bones, lampshades from skin, a belt from nipples, even a corset. His home became a gallery of horrors, skulls on bedposts, noses in a box, lips strung on cord. Ed later claimed he wanted to become his mother, to wear her skin, to bring her back. This wasn't just necrophilia. It was a desperate act to resurrect a lost love through flesh. Grave robbing wasn't enough. In 1954, Ed crossed a line. On December 8th, he walked into Mary Hogan's tavern in Pine Grove. Mary, a robust woman in her 50s, reminded him of Augusta. A shot from his rifle, and she was gone. He dragged her body to the farm, dissecting it like the others. Her disappearance raised eyebrows, but no one suspected the shy farmer. Ed even joked to neighbors.
Mary? Oh, she's at my place.
They laughed, thinking it a jest. Years passed. Ed's isolation deepened, his mind sinking into madness. He devoured pulp magazines about Nazi experiments and cannibals, fueling his fantasies. The climax came on November 16, 1957. It was the opening day of deer hunting season, and Plainfield buzzed with hunters. Ed entered Bernice Worden's hardware store. Bernice, a 58-year-old widow, was another motherly figure. He bought antifreeze, then returned when she was alone. A single shot from a .22 caliber rifle, and Bernice was dead. Ed loaded her body into his truck, leaving a pool of blood and a receipt with his name. Bernice's son, Frank, a deputy sheriff, knew Ed's odd ways. Suspicion fell on him immediately. That night, police arrived at the farm. What they found would haunt them forever. In the shed, Bernice's body hung, headless, gutted like a deer. Her head was in a sack, her organs in a box. Inside the house was a nightmare. 9 masks of human skin on the walls, a chair upholstered in flesh, a belt of nipples, a box of vulvas. Mary Hogan's skull was a soup bowl. Officers retched, some fled. Ed was arrested that night. In questioning, he was calm, almost friendly. He said,
"I don't remember killing them, but I guess it was me."
He confessed to robbing 40 graves between 1947 and 1957, but denied necrophilia, saying, "They smelled too bad." Forensics confirmed most of his trophies came from graves, but Mary and Bernice were murder victims. The news exploded across America. "House of Horrors" screamed headlines. Crowds swarmed the farm until, in March 1958, it mysteriously burned down, likely torched by locals to erase the stain. Ed's trial in 1958 deemed him insane, diagnosed with schizophrenia. He was sent to Central State Hospital, later Mendota Mental Health Institute. There, he was a model patient, knitting, reading, even joking with staff. A second trial in 1968 found him guilty of Bernice's murder, but still insane. He never left the hospital. Ed died on July 26, 1984, at 77, from lung cancer. He was buried beside his mother, a cruel irony. Ed Gein's legacy endures. His story birthed Robert Bloch's Psycho, with Norman Bates's mother obsession. Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre wears a skin mask, echoing Ed. Buffalo Bill in The Silence of the Lambs sews a suit from his victim's flesh. Ed became the archetype of the quiet monster next door, not a raving maniac, but a neighbor hiding unspeakable secrets. His crimes force us to ask, what creates such evil? Trauma, isolation, or a darkness in us all? Today, Plainfield tries to forget. The farm is gone, but the whispers linger. Ed Gein reminds us that evil doesn't always scream. It often whispers in the silence. Thank you for stepping into this story. Subscribe to uncover more shadows of the human soul. If this story gripped you, subscribe to the channel. There are more haunting, untold true crime cases coming soon. Darker, deeper, and more disturbing than ever before.